Hi, I'm going to try do a little instructional video of a pocket-size game called Trick of the Rails, made by Okazu Brand. It's for 3 to 5 players, ages 10 and up, and it plays in around 20 minutes. And here are the components. We have 2 rulebooks, an English and a Japanese rulebook. These are the cards that are in the game. We have some station cards, we have the start railway cards, we have special railway cards, special railway station cards, replace exchange share cards, there's 3 of those, some exchange share cards, and some locomotive cards. This is the setup for a 3-player game. The 3, 4, 5-player game, they're all set up a little differently, so you need to refer to the rulebook. Okay, the start cards, there are 5 of them, indicated by this ST, and they've got a pink hue to the cards. They're placed in this column here, okay, doesn't matter which colour. Then 15 cards will be dealt to each player, okay, 15 each. And then the remaining cards that are not dealt, there should be 5 of them in a 3-player game, will be placed along here according to the colour, okay, so yellow would be placed next to the yellow start station. And down here, we have what is called the trick lane. So the winner of each trick will do a special action depending on whatever cards come up here in the trick lane. So there should be 15 cards here. There's 2 cards. Okay, it's a special. And in a 3 and 4-player game, we'll have these special station cards and the replace exchanged share cards. They're not used in a 5-player game. This is my starting hand. You'll notice that there are 5 colours. This will be the company name. Okay, so all the black cards have NYC. The value ranges from 1 to 10. Okay, this is the trick value. So the higher the number, the better chance you'll have at winning the game. Winning the trick, I mean. And down here you'll have the station value, okay, that's used later to determine the share value points for each company. If I was the lead player, I would choose a card from my hand and play it. For example, I played this blue 5. Then everyone else would have to try follow suit and try to play a blue card. If they don't have a blue card, they can play another colour card. Okay, so the next player played blue 9, and then the other player played a blue 3. Whoever has the highest number here would win the trick. Okay, so the blue 9's the highest, and they would win the trick. So then we would go to the trick lane, and depending on the trick lane, they would perform a special action. So the winner, for example, if it's an exchange share card or railway and company share card, they would win this card, and this would go in their score pile. Okay, then their card gets placed in here if there's a replace exchange share card. Okay, so that goes into there, and then this card would get discarded. Okay, and then the other 2 players would get their cards back, and that goes into their score pile. Okay, then the winner would go again. Okay, so they'd lead first, so a blue 8. Okay, blue 7, and oh, there we go, blue 10. Okay, so this player wins the trick. We'd go along here. Okay, if the card at the front of the line was a city card, the winner can place that anywhere along here. Okay, so for example, I placed it here. Okay, so they're worth a lot more points. Okay, then starting from the person who won, they would place the cards along here, okay, to form the railway line along here. Right, okay, then we'd go again. Okay, so let's have a look at what else happens when you win the trick. Okay, so that card was the same as this card, which is the exchange share card. Okay, so I showed you how to do that, and I showed you how to place this card. Okay, so we'll just skip those. An example, you got to the locomotive card. Okay, the locomotive card, they have a cost value, okay, it's $40 to build or buy this locomotive, and a distance value. That's how far the locomotive can travel. So the person who won the trick can place it along one of these companies that doesn't already have a locomotive. So for example, I placed it here, which would be fine. Okay, this means the locomotive can travel 3 cards worth of distance. Okay, so that's how the locomotive card plays. And then, okay, so that one's the same as before, another locomotive card, so the winner of the trick would place this maybe here. Okay, and if you came to this card, okay, so this was the railway and share company card, the winner would get this and place it into their score pile, and the card they played would be taken out of the game instead. Okay, so that's how you use the trick lane. Once everyone has run out of cards, the game ends, and then we go into scoring. Okay, scoring is determined by the companies. So we would look along here, okay, and we'd look at the locomotive card. Okay, this locomotive can travel a distance of 3. So if the section of track is 3 or under, then these cards are valid. We would add all these share value points up, so 40, 60, 70. So 70 minus the cost of the locomotive, which is 40. 70 minus 40 is $30. So all yellow cards that people have would be worth $30. So there's $30 right there. Okay, so we just did the yellow ones. Now let's have a look at the blue. Now the blue section of track is huge. Okay, but this locomotive can only travel a distance of 4. It's worth 50. So we would look along the blue section, and we would take the ones worth the most. So section up to 4, maybe we would take these 4. Okay, and then we would, so it has to be a continuous section. Okay, so we would add that up. Let's see, 70, okay, 110. Okay, so that's 110 minus the cost of the locomotive is 60. So blue cards are worth 60. Now if we have a look along here and then we go into this situation, okay, the locomotive can travel to 5. This is fine because it's under 5. 5 or under is fine. Okay, the locomotive is 60. So we would add up the share values. 50. Now the railway costs 50 and the locomotive costs 60. 50 minus 60 is minus 10. Okay, in this case, the black cards would be worth 0. And all means it can travel the whole length of the track. Okay, so that's how you would score. You'd work out how much each of the company's railways is worth, their share value, and then how many cards you have of that company. Okay, and whoever has the most points is the winner. So that's how the game goes. It's a really interesting game, and for such a, pocket-sized small game, it's quite deep actually. It's not like a normal trick-taking game. You have a lot to think about, especially with the trick lane and which cards you'll get, and if you can, make enough profit to actually have your cards worth something. But you also have to be careful. If all your cards are in here and you have none of those colours, then you'll get 0 for that company. Okay, well, that's it for now. If you get a chance, give this game a go. It looks like a lot of fun, and I'll see you next time. There's 2 rule books, an English and a Japanese one, and a cat. We have some station cards, and a